Welcome to the Operation Game Night podcast. Back and better than ever. I have dogs walking around my room. We got the big dog himself of Board Games Media. Is Clayton Gable.
Oh, some call me Clayton Gable. Others call me by my real name, which is Pogo Vondo.
Pogo Vondo.
That's hill right. Dwarf.
Oh, man. So this is going to be less of a debrief today. We are going to talk a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons because Clay and I had the opportunity to sit in on a one-shot, kind of the first chapter of a campaign for Dungeons and Dragons. And for me, it was my first taste of D&D. For Clay, he's done a couple of smaller campaigns, a couple of one-shots before.
Yeah, I have done one D&D one-shot before many years ago, and I recently did a different RPG that's more geared towards like intro family that my brother-in-law, who actually was our DM for this game, he did for me and my boys. So that was called Quest. But yes, this is like officially my second time playing Dungeons and Dragons. My first time playing with other people. The other time I did it, it was just my brother-in-law as the DM and me, and he was just running me through a one-shot story. So sort of my first time as well.
Okay. Yeah, so first time like in the official D&D 5th edition rule set.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had never done D&D. I've never done like any sort of facilitated dungeon master, game master type RPG. Played lots of RPGs. One of the first questions he asked, your brother-in-law,
Jason, correct? Yeah.
Jason, yeah. So Clay's brother-in-law was willing enough to GM for us. Is DM an outdated term?
We'll have to check with him on that, but
I think it's GM now.
I mean, Game Master is a more wider RPG type.
Yeah, that's
term,
true.
But I think maybe it's still Dungeon Master for Dungeons and Dragons. We'll roll with that.
That's fair. We'll just call him the Master. So the Master, he sent us the information. This is my first time diving into any of this, but one of the first questions he asked us when we did our little like prelim meetup, answer any questions about how Dungeons and Dragons work was like, do you have any experience playing RPGs? And he mentioned specifically Baldur's Gate. And Baldur's Gate is a video game, came out last year for the 3rd edition, Baldur's Gate 3, and it won all sorts of awards and got high praise. I have played that one, and that is literally Dungeons and Dragons, the video game, and it's pretty awesome. All the classes are there, all the races, all the jobs, like everything that you could want in Dungeons and Dragons, including the super fancy digital dice rolls. That is all there in Baldur's Gate 3, and it you roll your checks and stuff. So I have some experience with it, but I've never done it like facilitated by an individual. It's always been like algorithmic. So it's kind of cool to like see this interpersonal interaction with the DM, GM, and like how they play off of your decisions. Because I imagine like some of those campaigns can go off the wall with when players get wild. And it seems like he's got lots of experience doing this in the past.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. He's been, I'll put words in his mouth, but it's probably been the better part of 15 years that he's been playing. And a lot of that time he's been DMing as well. So he loves it. I know to me, I don't know how he could love it, love DMing because it seems like so much work, but I think he actually does like it. And I think he was especially keen to help our little troop out because he is a big D&D guy. He bought all the stuff for D&D, but apparently his game group likes to dabble in other RPGs. And so he's been feeling a little left out of the D&D universe. And so, yeah, he was happy to jump in and give us our first taste of D&D.
Yeah. So I, without jumping too far ahead, I was surprised when we first jumped in and he showed us our first map. He was kind of doing some stage setting, and I did not understand like Dungeons and Dragons is a universal world with all sorts of realms and all sorts of lands and planets and all sorts of stuff. Like I kind of figured Dungeons and Dragons is like just ethereal. Like you are in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And I know that they have like specific continents and countries and factions and stuff like that. But I didn't understand that it was like kind of a multiversal type thing.
Yeah, that's still lost on me. He was describing it. We're somewhere in Neverwinter. There's things happening. You know, you might have caught more of that than I did. I was just getting excited about rolling some die and getting into some combat.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into this scene setting a little bit later, but we decided that we were going to do this. We kind of put it out there to some of our friends on the Discord, and Megan, Empty Nest Board Mama.
That's Amanda.
Amanda, aka Empty Nest Board Mama, and her friend Meg, the guinea pig mom, decided to join us on this quest, and we were super appreciative because, you know, as much as I love hearing Clay talk, like just sitting there, the two of us going through the quest would not have been as fun. So it was cool to like have two different people in there that kind of mix things up. Amanda, it was her first time running a campaign or a one shot, no experience with Dungeons and Dragons. Meg is experienced though; she's done it for a little while. It sounds like it's not like a recurring thing, but she's done it in the past.
Yeah, she knew what was up. She knew what was up.
She like her character creation was done before we even sat down to do it. So yeah, she brought some heat, and that was good to help us out.
Yeah.
So Jason tasks us like we're gonna sit down and make a character. What were your considerations when you're reading through the rule book? Like, how did you go about your character creation? How did you decide on Pogo? I always want to add the N in there.
I mean, Pogo. It can be Pongo to you. That can be our cutesy nickname between Call sign Pongo. Yeah, I think, at least for me, in my novice role-playing experience, I want to be the character that I want to be. And I've always liked dwarves. They seem cool. They are tough. They're stout, drink a lot of beer, and they fight hard. And so I wanted to be a dwarf. And then obviously, you know, I have a history in combative. So a dwarf fighter was as far as I could really think through the logic of what I wanted my character to be. I just imagined myself, I wanted to be the tank. I wanted people to trust me to go in with a warhammer and, you know, deal some big hits. And that's what sounded like a fun character to play to me. You, Travis, you went a little deeper cut with it.
I went a little bit deeper.
Yeah, tell us about it.
And I was familiar with at least like the races and the classes and stuff like that. And I had played lots of magic casters in the past, lots of wizards and things like that. Done the barbarian thing, done the warrior thing. I wanted to do something a little different. And so I was kind of flipping through the races, and I was like, half-orc, that seems kind of interesting. Maybe I'll go more combat role. And then I thought, like, as I'm flipping through the actual the classes, I thought to myself, like, maybe I don't want to go brawler. Maybe I want to do something a little different. So I was a half-orc monk.
Yeah.
And so monks are good at acrobatics and athletics and use a lot of like empty-handed attacks, or at least they excel at empty-handed attacks. So it was a little bit of a different take from what I would normally go with. And yeah, so I went a little bit different. And I was also an acolyte. That was like my subclass. That really did not come into play. I think if you played a full campaign, that would come more into play because you are like a religious zealot and you go out and you can, you know, interact with people of the similar faith and stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So how do you feel like your character played out? Like, did you get the result that you wanted out of your tanky dwarf?
So I don't know how deep we want to get into like the actual gameplay right now, but I felt like the first combat we got into, the first swing I took on a goblin, I, you know, KO'd him one shot. Boom. I dealt wicked damage. And then the rest of the combats did not go as smoothly for my dwarf. The die were not rolling in my favor. So Pogo did not contribute as much as I had hoped to the well-being of our party. But I think that it's still there. And as we just leveled up, I think I got a new ability for my dwarf that's going to allow me to maybe attack more often than I did before. I think it was called Second Wind or something.
Yeah.
So, as I assume, just as you go through this, again, I've never played past a one shot. So as we go through, we're going to level up. And I think there's going to be ways to mitigate and lean into these different strengths that we have. And I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, if the dice rolls were not going your way, they were even worse for me. Yes. I thought this half-orc was going to come and just like thrash these goblins. And man, I missed everything. Like I got like one hit out of the many, many attacks that I did in our first encounter. Yeah. I went down. Old Pogo had to save me.
I did. Yeah.
I was the equivalent of like Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like doing air karate. Like I was just doing air karate by myself. And these goblins were dodge, duck, diving on me. So that amazing. that was a little frustrating. I wish I would have like, it's not satisfying when you like are rolling all these dice trying to like chain attacks together. And like, you think that you come up with something great and then you whiff. And then you think that you come up with another great solution, and then you whiff again. So it was a lot of that for me, and that was a little frustrating. It pulled me out of it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I could see how that would happen. That I guess comes with the territory in Dungeons and Dragons. The die rolling is a big piece of it, and like I said, I think the mitigations come with levels and different abilities and thoughts and experience. I just don't think we're there yet as level 1 dwarves and half orcs.
You have to submit yourself to the die.
We are at the mercy of. Should we like kind of talk about the story? I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I kind of got into it. The minds of, hey, if you're listening and you don't want a spoiler on the first, did he say it's the first?
It's the first chapter in this campaign, but I could not tell you what campaign that is.
The Mines of Fandelver or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Cantilever.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Cantilever Mines are out there, and we start at Neverwinter, and we're on the Sword Coast, and we're right up the road from Baldur's Gate, and we get invited by our dwarf friends to go into this mine. They found something really cool that they want to show us. They have a way to get to this mine that has this special thing, convinces us to go. And we have a knight buddy that is like, hey, you should really get into this. You got to go help your dwarf friends. I'm botching this story already, but we are inspired to go on this trip. We all load up in our cart and our wagon with our horses. We head south on the main road.
Yeah, the main road.
The main road. I think it's called the main road, isn't it?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Head south on the main road, and then we turn off, we're headed towards Baldur's Gate. We turn off towards the mine where we were told to meet our friends, and we encounter some dead horses in the road. And that was like our first thing was like, you encounter some dead horses in the road, and that was it. Like, what do we do?
Yeah. And that's the kind of open-endedness that you're just not used to in board games, right? Like the DM just says there's horses in the road and I'm kind of at a loss. I'm like, well, do we move them? What's going on here? Fortunately, Meg, the pro, kind of took the reins a little bit, and she's like, how about we search the area? And, obviously that's a thing that you do. Now I know this. Searching is a thing, and apparently you roll for perception. And then based on that roll, the DM determines what you uncover in your search of the area.
Yeah.
What do you think about that first encounter of the dead horses?
Well, it kind of made me feel really dumb because he's like, there's dead horses in the road. And I'm like, can we go around them? Like, how do we keep progressing instead of like, let's slow things down a little bit? I think I just need to get used to the pace, right? Like, you come up on something that is not as it seems, and you got to take a beat. You got to take a beat to figure out what's going on and what you want to do. And so like kind of getting my mind right for that type of scenario took a little bit of time, especially because we're doing this virtually. We're not looking at each other. We don't see anything on a table. We're doing this in Foundry. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But
Yeah.
We're just kind of like sitting there in silence, like waiting for somebody to make a decision. And then Meg came up with like, hey, something's not right. Let's look around. So yeah, we get into some combat with some goblins, and things did not go well. We're not rolling well. We're not working together as well as we should.
No. What do you think of the combat system as a whole? Because that's a whole thing, right?
Yes.
Rolling for initiative, you get your turn order for all the enemies, yourself. Like, how did you feel about how that all played out?
Yeah. So you all roll for initiative. You roll your 20-sided die, and then you are ranking from highest number that you rolled down to the lowest number, and that's like your turn order. And you just go right down the list, and then you recycle. And some types of characters have like 2 attacks, 1 attack, depending on what level you are, different abilities, all this stuff. These dogs are making so much noise; it's driving me nuts. And so, yeah, you have like your kind of order of operations that you go through, but everybody's order of operations looks a little differently. So you can move up to a certain distance. You can attack midway. You can do items. You can do all sorts of different stuff. And so it's a bit to manage. And luckily Jason's a pro and like helped us through it. If we were like keeping track of every little thing that we could do and had to do, we would have been lost.
Oh my God.
Dead on arrival. So thankfully Jason is a pro and helped us through that stuff. But yeah, it takes some getting used to for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that first combat took a while. I mean, I think we were fighting those 5 goblins for maybe an hour.
Yeah, it took a while, and one, because we were rolling I was rolling poorly.
Yeah. I mean, none of us were doing great.
Yeah, it was a little tough. But we got our feet underneath us. We beat the goblins. We went off to follow a trail that was drug in the mud because we were looking for our knight friend who might have been captured by goblins, and we'll kind of leave it at that. But anyways, yeah, second scenario got a little more complex. We're going through caves. We're finding creatures that might be able to help us in the encounters. It was our first time encountering darkness, and our different characters could see differently in the dark.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to the next point that I want to make, which is Foundry. Foundry is an online tool that Jason used to help facilitate this D&D. It's got preloaded assets in it. It's got all the different maps and everything already done. We're not drawn on grid paper. That stuff was cool.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Foundry is it can help automate a lot of the stuff that builds out like the immersion. So like you know exactly how far your character can run. You know all their stats and everything at a click of a button. It's got like we're in the forest. Like you have leaves that are falling to the ground, and you can hear the birds. Like it's got atmospheric music and stuff.
Yeah.
All that was so cool and like really sucks you into the game. Any thoughts?
Oh no, I honestly was just picturing that little like cave area, the entrance to that cave, and remembering, how much it really does feel like you're there.
Yeah.
And how quickly during some of these like storytelling beats, you can kind of lose yourself in the moment and feel like it's more than just a computer screen and a couple clip art pictures of a dwarf and a half-orc on the screen, and our little hat. What was Meg? She was a gnome.
Rock gnome, yeah.
Rock gnome.
Wizard rock gnome.
And Amanda was a dragonborn.
She was a druid, yeah.
Druid dragonborn, yeah.
And then so the entrance to the cave, we come up, there's trees kind of in this little like outcropping, and it's kind of cool because you can't see around the trees. So like wherever your character is, you can only see like line of sight. So if something's hiding behind the tree, you wouldn't know it. And then as we get closer to the entrance to the cave, Jason says like, there's a stream that's trickling out of the cave, and you can kind of faintly hear water trickling, and you can still hear the birds chirping and the leaves rustling and stuff. Then you go into the cave, and then it's like just stream. It's so cool how it switches like that. Your character could not see colors. Yeah. Like you could only see black and white in the dark. So the second you cross that threshold, everything was black and white for you, but I could see colors because I was a half orc. Like,
oh, you could see colors?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I'm in there in black and white. I thought I was doing good.
But then we had Amanda, who's a dragonborn who could not see in the dark. And so she entered and she's like, I can't see anything. And she's just bumping around, like following us. She can see our little hexes, but can't see anything around it. So, man, it was so immersive and cool. And like, I love how it can change according to what your abilities are. Foundry is a cool system.
Yeah, I'm glad Jason was running it. I don't know what it's like to actually, make it work like that, but it's cool as a player when you're just moving your little token around and getting to experience all the benefits of it.
Yeah. So then we, finished the second encounter in the cave. We all, slap hands. Everybody escaped unscathed from the cave. And then we rallied back at, was it Neverwinter? Or did we go? We went somewhere else.
I think we went to the Fandelver.
Yeah, there we go. Went to
PH.
Yeah. We went to Philadelphia. And we kind of rallied there. Our chapter ended. We all leveled up. I am excited to play again because the level up actually means that like my character gets a little bit different. I think the monk doesn't really pay off until like levels 3, 4, 5. Like you get a little better and you get new abilities and stuff as you do with most RPGs. But at least for the monk, you get like what's it called? Like I just had it. It's like something in blows, but like you can just walk up and like bare hand somebody and punch them in the face. So yeah, super excited about that. Super excited to try out my new abilities in the next chapter.
Yeah, and I'm just excited. I feel like we got the hard stuff out of the way. We got the character creation out of the way. We got, which is fun in its own right, but it is kind of a it's like a tedium thing you have to do to get started. And then the first adventure, obviously we were newer to it, so there was some learning happening and exploring what's in the realm of possible.
Sure.
And now, heading into the next one, hopefully here in the next month, I think it's going to really be a lot of fun getting to rally back up and, continue the story.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to get back into it. But we probably have not done Dungeons and Dragons any sort of justice with this episode. This is just our kind of first impression. So you've played Dungeons and Dragons before. If you have lots of experience, like let us know things that we should check out. Things that we should watch, things that we should research, any sort of systems that you really like. We've been doing some solo RPGs. If you have any solo RPGs that you want to recommend, go ahead and hit us up on Instagram at Operation Game Night Podcast. You can comment in the link below for YouTube. And if you like this podcast, if you like this show, if you like Clayton Gable, then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like the video and just tell more people about Operation Game Night.
I know you're wrapping it up here. You were going through your wrap-up spiel, but I had one more thing I wanted to say.
Please.
Sorry, for those of you that didn't tune out when Travis started his wrap-up spiel. I just don't know how people do this, honest to God. Like, if just 3 people that never played Dungeons and Dragons before wanted to sit down and do it, the barrier to entry just seems incredible to me. Like the player's handbook.
Yeah.
Like we complain about rule books that are like 10 pages long. This player's handbook is like an encyclopedia.
Oh yeah.
And it behooves you to have a pretty good grasp on it, especially if you're not at the nurturing hands of somebody who's been playing it before and can answer all your stupid questions. So, I mean, I have in my Amazon cart, they came out with like a beginner set.
Oh yeah. The starter set.
Yeah. That I've heard good things about. So I might give that a whirl, maybe just with a couple people and see if I can work my way through it. But yeah, I find yourself somebody that knows how to play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would say, because it is intimidating. And Travis, you may continue signing off.
Well, whenever you're ready to run the Root RPG, I have all those books, and I'm ready.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready. I can DM that one. I know that one for sure.
Okay,
much more simple system.
Okay, so. All right. I can get on board with simple.
All right. From 2 simpletons, this has been Operation Game Night Podcast. I have been Travis. He has been Clay. This has been our first impressions of Dungeons and Dragons, and we're out.